just checking whether we are visible live. Yes, we are visible. We have a bunch of people also waiting. Yeah. Mm, Okay. Yeah. So we are live. Let's start then. Good evening, everyone. This is Shiv, and you are watching OT Security Huddle. This is the seventh episode of our series. And today we are discussing a special topic on cyber forensics. And joining me is Nikhil. I'll shortly introduce to you about Nikhil, but this is a different topic that I have chosen this time, apart from the OT security series that we have been doing so far. And the reason I have chosen this topic is cyber forensic is also very, very important topic, and not only in the OT security, but other cyber security domains and even the safety perspective as well. So we'll be talking about that. There are a bunch of things that we'll be discussing today. We'll be talking about cyber forensic as a topic. We'll be seeing what are the career options which are there, how one can start in this domain, and also the kind of experience that you'll gain working with the law enforcement agencies. Yeah. So first of all, thanks, Nikhil. Thanks for accepting the invite and taking time. I know you are super busy these days, but yeah, somehow we were able to get your time slot, and then we are doing it. So this is Nikhil with me. Manju is the regular in this talk, but today he is not able to join because of some last moment emergency that had at his home. So I'll quickly introduce Nikhil. Nikhil is a well-known personality in cybersecurity domain. He has been doing the technology-based innovations in the cyber forensic area. Currently, he works as a digital forensic investigator and consultant to various law enforcement agencies. He is certified security analyst. He is also certified computer hacking forensic investigator, ISO 27001 lead auditor, and as well as doing a certified threat intelligence analysis. So he has actually started an initiative called Cybersecure India, and through this not-for-profit initiative, he has so far trained close to 50,000 people on cyber awareness. And these people include lecturers from the college, entrepreneurs, school students, college students, police professionals, and also the corporate professionals. He has been awarded the youngest entrepreneur, and he was also presented as the youngest researcher in the National Conference of Social Media Responsibility. I follow him from quite some time now, and recently I've seen that he is so famous in the cyber forensic domain that a new research or analysis lab on cyber forensic was set up into BITS Plani Dubai campus, and he was one of the celebrity who inaugurated that. So we are having a very good luck today to get his time, and we'll learn some good things about cyber forensics. Yeah, so again, he is the founder of the Cybersecure India, and through various domains, I got to know this good work that he has been doing, training people on the cyber forensic domain, and also helping national and international organizations and media people as well. Apart from this, Nikhil is also an avid writer. He writes for media, he writes for research, and he also writes for social media as well, so that we get to learn a bit about cyber forensics. Yeah, so now having said that, again, thanks to you, Nikhil. Now I will give this stream to you. Maybe you quickly just start this before I interject you again.
Thank you very
Thank
much,
you.
Shiv, and your partner Manju for inviting me to this OT security order. First of all, I appreciate the initiative which you guys have started. I tell you, because there are very few people, again, in this specific domain of security, which is OT security, and are you guys are giving back to the society by conducting such type of we can say webinars or talk shows, and actually helping people who want to make their career in cybersecurity, or who basically don't know which is the next step, where they should go and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, so appreciate your initiative, and thank you very much, first of all, for inviting us on this show. So Shiv is also like one of the well-known speaker and researcher in OT security. He was there on our platform also, and the audience like his talk also very much. So again, he's always into knowledge sharing. That's what I appreciate basically.
Oh,
Whenever he
my
is linked, he shares a lot about OT security. So that's the passion he has about the domain. Talking about cyber forensics, which is the today's topic. So obviously, we are going to discuss a lot about it, and that's the reason I told Shiv that let us keep it as an open chat and not as a lecture, so that the audience will enjoy it and will again address the audience questions as well into this. Cyber forensics, or we say it as we can say digital forensics investigation, is now such a field that there are a lot of opportunities which are coming in, and because like cyber forensics now or digital forensics is not only limited to the investigation of cyber crimes but also other similar crimes as well. How they are basically helpful for digital forensics is helpful for our investigation of other crimes. We'll discuss about it in a while, and that is one of the reason as technology is growing day by day, and this security market is also growing day by day. Similarly, the incident handling market, or we can say digital forensic market, is also going day by day, and that is not only a demand at, we can say, at a enterprise level or in the company level only, but at the individual levels also. So like wherever there is some or the other crime scene, there also this type of digital forensics is required. Or if we give the well-known examples of we can say phone spying incidents, like we all know the well-known attack of phone for spying, that is Pegasus. So Pegasus is one of that whose cover was blown. There are many others basically lying around, and so everyone needs this type of investigation if at all the phone is compromised. So there are many aspects to digital forensics, from the investigation perspective, from the career perspective, and how a layman basically should know the basic things also from that perspective.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So you have summarized it well. But yeah, thanks again, Nikhil. You are quite humble saying those words about me. And in fact, I would like to share one thing with you that it was your first talk that I had done online, and after that, I got motivated to start the OT security Hazel as well. So thanks to you for motivating about that.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I put up a loosely structured discussion guideline for today. But before starting that, maybe I'll quickly ask you, how did you got into the digital forensic arena as such? How did you start your journey?
So, Shiv, actually, I started my journey when I was 16 years old. So, my basic thing career started by helping local police stations around. Okay, so at that time, there were no more cyber cells dedicatedly, basically, for solving cyber crimes. And later, cyber cell was set up, but it was again only one cyber cell in the city which was set up, which was responsible for all the crimes in the city. And today, the situation in Mumbai is that every police station has a cyber nodal officer. So like the journey started from there, and literally like helping police or law enforcement agencies for looking at the technical evidence part in any type of cyber crime. So may it be email forensics, may it be some messages which is coming in, it is from which source, may it be looking from the basic data of the website, or who is data of the website. We're looking at the server level, looking at the application, what is installed, the permissions they are taking, so on and so forth. So this is how basically I started helping police into investigation of cases and looking at the cyber part of it, or looking at the forensic part of it. And there is where I started my career into it. Further going, then I did a lot of certifications also. So one of them is computer hacking forensic investigator. which I did, and then further started working on critical cases and evidences. Which again, when I say critical cases, we sign NDAs. The actual names of the cases cannot be disclosed, but obviously, how the modus operandi is, we can talk about it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So that is quite a journey. 16 years. Yeah, you were quite young then, right? I still feel that there is a lack of skilled manpower available for helping our law enforcement agencies. Recently, I got a chance to visit a cyber police station, and there also I have seen that they were relying on the external consultants a lot. So, what do you see is the main reason that the law enforcement agencies are still lacking on their own expertise? As such, is it a bureaucratic issue or is it a no-go area for the law enforcement? And what is the reason that they are still lacking in it?
So see, when basically if we talk about what are the lacunas at the law enforcement level about such type of investigation techniques, if they should know, and if they are not knowing that much, or if there is a lacuna about it. So there are multiple reasons. One is, so when you say about law enforcement, they are given multiple responsibilities. So person, if you see, who is in cyber cell today, may not be in cyber cell after 6 months, or may not be after a year. It depends on whatever cases they are working on. So they really work day and night on several cases, and that's what their challenge is as per their protocol. That is what I feel. Secondly, like they do not get some dedicated time for researching, as we get, like, okay, we work on day and night on some cases or on cybersecurity and digital forensics. So research area is basically they are not getting some dedicated time for their own research. That is what we can say. And the important aspect and the good news is basically that now government has come up with specific budgets, and they have set up center for excellences. They have set up now, we can say, a lab, cyber labs or forensic labs, and also dedicated training programs with the help of industry experts. And they have come up with a lot of programs. And as you told about external help, so if we go on cybercrime.gov.in, people like you and me, and people like whoever knows some or the other technology, can go directly and register as a volunteer, and you will be allocated the nearest or the police station after whatever their process is, and can help police actually officially in some of the other cases from the technical perspective. So this is what the current situation is, and whatever the lacunas are, there are many reasons as well for that.
Yeah, yeah, that's a very good information about the young talent who is aspiring to work with the law enforcement. That they can directly go on the portal and then register themselves. So typically, since you've been working, what do you see? What kind of devices are actually can be a good candidate for digital forensics? Sometimes there is a confusion that if you are using something on cloud, there is no information available. Sometimes people would think that only the mobile can be used. There is still people feel that the smartwatches and the other personal devices they might also not be able to give you additional data. But what do you feel? Which all devices can be a good evidence for collecting information?
So now every device. So when we say about which all devices, so digital forensics is possible on mostly every device. So digital forensics is, as you rightly mentioned, is possible on smartwatch also. Is possible on IoT devices. It's possible on mobile phones, laptop, server, thin clients, and cloud also, as you mentioned about it. So it is also an important aspect. So digital forensics starts basically from the individual device users till the enterprise, everywhere. And there are possibilities of fetching details and conducting a forensic investigation on each and every type of device, whether it is a on-premises device or a virtual device, like we have VDIs now, we have cloud systems, so on and so forth. Now the question lies about the detailing of it. For example, when we say mobile forensics, so there are two major platforms which people are using. One is Android and one is iOS. And when you say, okay, Android, it's not pure Android everywhere. So Google Pixel provides you pure Android. But what about Oppo? If you go for a Oppo phone, you'll see you have color OS. If you're using OnePlus phone, you have this Oxygen OS. Then Vivo phone may have Fun Touch OS, and then MI may have something other. Samsung may have something other. So this type of tweaks are there, which makes the job of a digital forensic investigator also critical. So that is one aspect of it. And secondly, talking about the iOS device, I would again comment on it that iOS forensics again it is bit, we can say, standardized or very good as compared to Android, because there you will not find such type of tweaks. It's the standard OS. So like if I am using a iPhone 7 and you are using a iPhone 7 with a specific version, at least we are same. It is not like Android. Okay, you're using Android 12 on a Pixel phone, and I'm using Android 12 on a OnePlus phone. So both are actually different when it comes to digital forensic investigation. Similarly, talking about laptop forensics, or we can say computer forensics also. So a Mac OS forensic has its all different perspectives. Windows forensic has different perspective as well. Cloud, again, there are a lot of things when we talk about cloud. So Azure, AWS, or Google, or DigitalOcean, and there are many providers, service providers, where this type of forensics can be conducted and is conducted, because the whole world is moving on cloud after this COVID. There was a mandate requirement. Whoever were working from home, there are organizations who shifted on cloud, and then they were not about aware about, at some organizations, I will say, about the incidents which happen through cloud and how the logs are managed through that. So obviously, digital forensics is possible on each and every device. Now vehicles coming into picture with where they are connected to internet.
Yeah.
So vehicle hacking or car hacking is one of the thing which is there, and there also forensics is possible. So you go with your IoT devices, like your internet connected refrigerator or internet connected, your even Wi-Fi router. There are digital forensic Wi-Fi logs and all which are connected. Yes.
So essentially, anything and everything which is connected to internet, either directly or indirectly, is a candidate for getting data forensic. So I would also like to add the OT security perspective to this. I see there are a bunch of questions that people are asking on OT security side, and though we might set up a different security huddle altogether for OT security forensic. But here about the devices. So again, in the OT side as well, your ITUs, your PLCs, your switches, your network systems, and engineering station HMIs, all those devices could be a good candidate for forensic analysis. It depends on the architecture, the installation, the plant, and your obviously the incident history to identify which could be the good devices you should get the data about. Like if there is an incident of changing the logic of the PLC, then the PLC is a good candidate to use the previously accessed configuration file, and then you can compare it with the change integrity change logic file. So yeah, there are anything and everything which is having a data and then accessible, or sometimes also not accessible directly. You could use that for your data correlation that could help you in forensically analyze the incident and get information about what had gone wrong. Yeah, so I'll move forward. And one of the key reason that we are discussing this topic today is, again, I'll go back to the main question or the understanding about cybersecurity. Typically, when somebody hears the term cybersecurity, they will correlate this with ethical hacking or maybe hacking. And this domain of cybersecurity is very, very vast. And just, each one of them is just big specialization that requires years of work that would require to understand the devices. Like, take example of your experience as a cyber forensic investigator. You have been doing it for quite some time now, but still, since new devices come up, new OSs come up, you might need to learn new things continuously. and that's how you expertise in the domain. Similarly, apart from forensics, there could be roles like security architect, security testing professional, security analyst, network security professional, endpoint security professional. There are n number of roles and responsibility that are available in the organization. Ethical hacking, though, is the highly glamorized field, but yeah, see the percentage of contribution of these guys in the overall security life cycle is not that significant if you see the role of security architect, which is more specialized role. You don't need to you not only need to know the adversarial perspective, but on the defense perspective also you require the knowledge. And that is why these kind of understanding about cyber forensics and other will actually add to grooming your understanding of the subject as cybersecurity. Yeah.
Right.
So,
So
so
basically, what you told is really a correct perspective. It is a vast domain. So when we explain, we just give this example of the medical students. You know what medical students when they take admission to the medical college and all. So after some time, they choose their specialization. They want to be a dentist, a
yeah,
neurologist, or some ENT specialist, and what. So the similar thing happens basically to us when we come into cybersecurity on digital forensics. Where you want to actually go, and okay, do you want to make your career into web application pen testing, or at least mobile application pen testing, or as you have made your career specialized into OT security? Someone wants to make their career specialized into digital forensics. So when we say about digital forensics, again it has different several sub branches. So want to make your career into mobile forensics, and so on and so forth. So absolutely specialization is everywhere, and this age is of specialization. And when people are literally afraid in this or I will say there's some misconception also, like okay, AI will eat our jobs, or AI will basically replace my job. But if you are specialized in something into your domain, again, I don't think so it's so much easy for AI or some other technology to replace your skill set. So when you're choosing your domain, choose one specialization at least. So you can be what we say is jack of all, but you have to be master of.
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, jack of all trade is not the good thing for cybersecurity, right? Yeah, you need to be specialized in one domain to excel in your career. Otherwise, you will be the generalist, and then yeah, maybe at the lower level of your career growth. Okay, so now moving forward, there is a aspect of digital forensic is to help in investigations, and this investigation could not only be the investigation for civil crimes, but also the criminal issues as well. So what is your experience working with them? I'm sure that you have been helping them into some very tough cases so far. So what are your experience working on these different kind of crimes, and what is the best contribution that you could recall working with these organizations?
Correct, correct. So when we say about okay, digital forensics is not only used for investigation of cyber crime. So what else investigation is done using digital forensics is now the traditional crimes, or the civil matters or the criminal matters also requires such type of digital forensic investigation, because nowadays on a crime scene, whatever are the evidence, there are digital and electronic evidence as well. So for example, if there is a crime scene, there is a digital evidence, which is a mobile phone, which is a computer, and at a traditional crime scene. I'll just give you one or two simple use cases. So again, without disclosing the actual details of the case, the mode of operandi of how we did the investigation. So for example, I'll just give you an example of a scenario where a traditional crime like suicide, basically it was a suicide scenario or a crime scene where a person came to the police stating, sir, my wife committed suicide, and let us go and basically obviously do the next protocols, whatever it is. So then police came on the crime scene, and they seized it. So they followed whatever their protocols are. I'll just cover the digital part of it. On that crime scene, what we found as a digital evidence is one Wi-Fi router, one computer, and one mobile phone. That mobile phone was of the lady who was committed suicide. Now, again, they started their protocol, and now, as this evidence, the Wi-Fi router, we can check the Wi-Fi router logs. So, what was the logs which are present as per the router capacity and the model, whichever differs. So that Wi-Fi router logs we checked. So here in the traditional crime again, digital forensics is used. Then there was computer, so we were able to check the hard drive logs, and also there were mobile phones, so we are also able to investigate the mobile phone. So in this scenario, there is a process which is followed. But now, point here was as per the PM, that is postmortem report, the death is approximately like at between 12 a.m. to 1 a.m. And it was seen that the computer was accessed from starting from night 11 p.m. basically till morning 5 a.m. And there were different type of searches on the computer. There were different type of USBs which were attached. There were type of searches how to dispose the body. There were type of searches how to recover deleted WhatsApp, and there were three mobiles which were attached onto that computer. And so when we go to the USB logs and all, so we get to know about it. And when we saw that one mobile was of that lady who committed suicide, it was till then it was like that, it was a suicide and all. But after coming to the digital evidence investigation, we suspected that it is not a suicide, and it is basically, it may be a murder. And then the further investigation got to the police. Then we again collected the logs of the router. So when we went to access the logs of the router, we saw some of them are missing, are clear. Who clears the Wi-Fi network logs? And we saw her husband was a network administrator on LinkedIn. So these are all the things. Also you have to perform some OSINT also about. So till that like we can say crime is proved or the culprit is proved, you have to look everyone from a suspect perspective, and then go ahead and investigate those logs. And so on the crime scene, there was only one phone, but there were three phones connected. So which was that two phones? So one phone was of her husband, and the another phone basically he was having one more phone, but we which he basically has hide it from the police and the other people. So that also after like the investigation report we got clear. So this is how traditional crimes also nowadays require this type of investigation when it comes to digital forensics. So that nowadays it may be mobile, it may be laptop, or it may be your IoT device logs, because everyone now are moving to smart homes. So smartphone homes also will have such type of logs which are made.
Yeah, yeah, that's really wonderful that you help them there. Uh, yeah, and this is the good thing about these digital footprints, that once you had used them, whatever you do, of course, if you have destroyed the hard disk and the asset, then
Yeah.
that's on. But otherwise, you will have some evidence or the other, either somewhere in the cloud or from your network service provider or somewhere else. And I think that's where the role of an independent consultant comes. That the knowledge of the devices could actually help the police, and with the additional rights these people have as law enforcement, they can actually ask this information from the service provider, and then you can help them correlate this information to solve this complex cases.
Absolutely. So it's like only one of the example which I gave you about this was a murder scenario, but there are other cases also where using digital forensic techniques or cyber forensic techniques, you can like detect missing cases. So we have worked on a lot of missing cases also, like where we have successfully cracked a case where we know there was a girl who was missing, from her home, and there was a missing file. Once the missing is filed, there are a lot of protocols which are followed. They have a whole SOP. And if you we all look at this series in India called as Crime Patrol. So
Yeah.
we know what police does in missing is they take out the call data records, and they have the rights authority for that. So in that call data records, if the person is moving with active SIM card and a phone, uh, wherever he or she is moving, you get the tower location, and you get the location approximately of 100 meters. But in this scenario, the girl, what she did is she removed the SIM card from the phone. She took the SIM card with her, and the phone was lying at her home. Now, there was no way that police can use that technique and track the further call data records. But the past call data records, police has tracked with whom she was talking and so on and so forth. Then there was another aspect about bank like ATM. If she is out, she may use her ATM in a post transaction, in a e-com transaction, or in a ATM transaction, ATM card. I mean, in a ATM withdrawal transaction, but that was also not done after this type of missing. So here, what were the possibilities? That one is the phone. So the phone, I remember it was again like a Android device, and it was with a pattern lock. And again, there are a lot of tools and techniques, hardware and software both, using which there is a possibility if the USB debugging mode is on, developer options are on, that you can unlock the device without even losing the data. It is a very risky job, because if you basically mess up doing that, your phone is dead
Yeah.
complete. So whatever
Yes.
data is in the phone will go, and then you may mess up with the bootloader, and the phone will be like a paperweight. So what we did basically, me and my team were able to do it, crack it completely, and then we were able to see, okay, this is the Google account which is present in our phone. Why Google account is important? So we said, okay, the Google account is in the phone, how we will access on the computer and all. So there was a backup to that Google account, which was again a Rediff mail account,
Mhm.
and that Rediff mail account was also in the phone, luckily. So we were able to do it. So when we logged into the Google account on our desktop, on computer, we were able to see under the dashboard, my activity dashboard, the complete search history. So nowadays, this teenagers and all, they don't talk on phone much. They just chat much, and then whatever they want information, they'll not ask you. They'll go and Google search. They'll go and ask Chat GPT and so on. So what happened in this case? That girl was searching basically for past 3 months about this type of escape, and then it was proved it was not a missing. It was a completely planned escape, and three critical searches which we found into that. And one search was, let's say, I will not take the exact name of the locations. For example, in from Delhi to Chennai, what are the ways how you go via airways, basically, like via flight. Then what are the options for via road and via rail. So all these type of things were there, and then that person ended up booking ticket via IRCTC, which is this railway booking website, and we found a unique PNR number. And then the further details were there. Then what was the motive of this escape? So again, that search history included that motive also. Then we saw, okay, had this girl been to Chennai some time back in history. So we all have this Google location timeline, right? So we went to that timeline history, and we found, yeah, some 1.5 year back she was present there, and at that specific location in Chennai. And when we went to the photos history, and also with whom she was there, and all everything. So basically, we got to know, okay, who may be the person with her. So then that person's phone was a police was able to track them. Some CCTV footages. at the nearby stores. Police was able to take the recordings of it, and obviously within 4 to 5 hours, the missing case was cracked. So it's a wonderful use of technology. I say that technology can be used for such type of investigations as well.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. A wonderful use case. And I think, like those bug bounty hunters, you are collecting virtue bounties to help solving these complex cases. I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes.
So wonderful. Yeah. So I will also take a, one of the off topic that most of the people would be interested, that forensics can definitely help solving these complex cases. But with your work with the law enforcement, how does they take up the stolen phone kind of thing still in 2023? Do they really focus on
Sorry,
finding?
I lost you in between. Can you repeat that?
I was asking about the phones that are lost and the stolen mobile phones. Are they still doing this IMI search, or that's not being focused now?
So I tell you, police is really active on that IMEI search,
Mhm.
and government has a dedicated portal again, ICMR, something like that, basically for once you register the FIR, and if you lose a phone, you can go ahead and search. But the other critical part is when these phones are stolen, this IMEI numbers, like the thieves, or we can say there are people into the black market who are able to change the IMEI numbers, and that is pretty possible. And like there are a lot of videos also available on YouTube about how to change this type of things, and then people are doing that. Second aspect is if they are not able to change how this phone stealing market works. I tell you, they just dismantle your phone
Yeah.
and they use your camera, your display, so on and so forth. So police does their job 100%. If a new SIM card is inserted in your phone, and if the IMEI number is not changed, obviously they get the alert through the nodal agency, which is your service provider, and then basically police will go you take you for the further protocols.
Yeah, but is this changing or flushing the IMI? Is it still possible in iOS devices, or it's only in the Android devices?
As of now, in the latest device, I haven't heard any of the case, but in some of the older device of iOS, it was possible. And Android, obviously, it is possible in many of the devices, but still many devices are there with the latest technology where you cannot do this change. And if they are not able to do, again, they just dismantle it and then they sell it.
So now we move forward to another aspect of forensic, that is incident readiness. So, what do you see the readiness of the organization today about their forensic capabilities? Do you get to work with organizations as well, apart from law enforcement, to
Yes.
solve these incidents? And what is their readiness level?
So yeah, we do work with a lot of corporate organizations also for incident investigations. And when we talk about readiness, see, there is always a difference between what is on paper and what is implemented. And there is where the risk is not minimized. So obviously, I will never comment that the risk can be eliminated. It cannot be eliminated, or at least it can be minimized. And when we work with a lot of corporates, so corporate should always, it may be a small business or an enterprise level business, should be always have a forensic readiness policy in place. So there is no guarantee that there will be no incident. So tomorrow, if the incident happens, so you should be forensic ready. I'll give you a simple example. You may be having your on-premises infrastructure or on-cloud infrastructure, whether it may be VDI or you're using AWS, you're using Active Directory into it, you're using Azure Cloud, whatever it is. So this type of things should not have your by default, we can say, forensic settings. So when we go and see someone says, okay, company says we are using AWS, we are completely secure because we are on cloud, we are on AWS. It is okay, but what about, have you done your secure config review? Have you done your forensic readiness review? Why? For example, if we take about AWS, so there are certain logs which By default, it has the capacity to store for 30 days. By default, it has the capacity to store for 60 days. But what if the incident happened and you get to know after the 45 days? What will basically happen in that scenario?
Right.
So you should have a policy. First of all, if there is a storage, you can increase that number of days from 30 days to 180 days, or 90 days, and every after 90 days you should have the policy to purge that, so that even if you get to know about any type of incident, even after 6 months or 7 months, you will be able to investigate that. In many organizations, when we see about ransomware attacks or any type of data theft attacks, so they get to know, or they get alerted. When they get alerted at that time or during that period the attack was done, it is not the case. The attacker has planted basically the type of malware or type of malicious agent, or whatever the mode of operandi is, into the systems at times 5 months prior, 6 months prior also, and they are studying the complete whole system. And then after that they are fetching the important data and then encrypting that important data, and then again sending the emails to the stakeholders and blackmailing, okay, if you don't want this data basically to be public, pay us in whatever cryptocurrencies it is. So it is important that the invest as a individual investigator, or if even if you hire a company as an investigator, they should have enough logs to investigate, and that is where forensic readiness policy should come in place.
Yeah, this is basically part of your incident response. And then I think the mock drill exercises and tabletop exercise is as the most important part, where you will get to know that what are the logs that you are currently collecting and what should be the periodicity of those collection of the logs. So that very important point for the organizations. Yeah. So there are a lot of things that one can do as a cyber forensic professional. But what do you think should be a good career path to start into the cyber forensic, and what all certification that one can do?
So there are many things. So first of all, you have to be very clear with the why you want to come into this industry. So there are many people who will say, okay, I just have a curiosity, or I just I need to know about it. Okay, it's just my hobby, and I just want to know about it. So I will suggest, do not go for certifications. Then there are a lot of options like Udemy, then Coursera, and there are a lot of online portals where you can just go and take a crash course of 20 hours and 25 hours, and go and learn about it. Second option is going for certifications, like certifications are computer hacking forensic investigator is one of the certification where you can start your career into it. So which explains you clearly about how to collect Windows logs, how to, what is mobile forensics, what is the seizing procedure. So if you are on a crime scene, if the mobile is turned on, how do you collect that evidence? You do not switch off the phone, or basically you install, you do not go ahead and install something, and how do you capture the logs about it. So each and every aspect of it. So what is the seizing procedure, what is the we can say Windows log collection procedure, what is IoT forensics. So all the basics of forensics we can say, and how do you start your career in forensics. Computer hacking forensic investigator is one of it. AC council and similar bodies provides it. Then you can obviously go to SANS. SANS. SANS is one of the wonderful, again, we can say organization who works on forensics a lot. And SANS have dedicated courses on mobile forensics. SANS has dedicated courses on reverse engineering, malware reverse engineering, again, which is a critical part of forensics. So it will actually give you a dedicated resource on how do you reverse a Windows application, DMG, that is a Mac application, or we can say there are different type of applications where how do you reverse that. So SANS is good for that type of certifications also. So you can go ahead for SANS certification and this CHFI both certifications. But if you again don't want to make career, just it's as an hobby, so you can go on online. Lot of YouTube channels are there, Udemy like courses are there. There's a channel called as 1313 13 cubed on YouTube. You can actually go and check about the complete forensic scenario, or a different type of forensic investigation, log investigations on that. So this is how one can start their career. Secondly is hands-on. Do a lot of hands-on. Just don't attend on online workshops or offline workshops. Do it on your do experiments on your computer or on your pen drive, on your mobile phone. Keep a separate device basically for it, and do a lot of hands-on practices on such type of thing. Third important aspect is do not wait. So basically a lot of people say, oh, these tools, they are very costly and we cannot go ahead and say it. So there is always a free trial version available for all these tools, and there's always a freemium feature which says, okay, 5 features free, and then 10 features are paid. So at least use that 5 features, and then there's always a open source version also, similar version which is available. So you can install that open source version and then go ahead. So there are labs on Try Hack Me about introduction to digital forensics. You can go and solve them for free, of course.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I think there are a lot of free resources available, and as you rightly mentioned about the objective, what you want to achieve out of it. That's very important. And this NPTEL portal where lots of IITs, IISc, they also provide good courses. And I think on SWAYAM portal also there are a bunch of courses which are available. But
Correct.
I see a question related to this, so maybe I'll take in between that. Sunita Patel is asking, how about Cybrary digital forensic certification? Is it good for beginners?
Cyber digital forensic certification is also good for beginners. You can go ahead and do it from Cyber also. That's not a problem. Yeah.
There is one more question from her: how to become a cyber volunteer? I think you partly answered this, that they can apply on the cyber crime portal directly. But is there any other way that they can approach the local police or maybe some other government website?
So, see, local police will not have a authority to take you as a volunteer directly, and if at all, with any type of some in special cases or exceptions, they take you. That will be for a specific case only, and they may provide you a letter that you have helped them in so and so case. But when we talk about like cyber volunteer program, which is coming under MHA in India, Ministry of Home Affairs. So you can go to that cybercrime.gov.in and apply becoming a volunteer. So that is where the whole process comes. Then they do your background check and verification also, and then you are their registered volunteer. So that is what the right way is. That is what I suggest.
Okay. So for this program, is there any criteria for application, like number of year of experience or maybe prior work? And also, do they pay some stipend or something for the work that you will be doing there?
No, they will not pay the stipend or something like that. But like I assure you, you will get a lot of experience and learnings. That is what you will do. And talking about the criteria, you should know the technical, know basic technical know-hows. I'm not saying you should be at the expert level, because this is what the gap government is trying to fill out. Like the people or the police who is on field and knows about the traditional crime investigation and knows about cyber crime investigation, but our the young generation who knows much more about the technology, they are using all the types of apps, like social media apps, which at times police may be not aware of. They are using a lot of dating apps, gaming apps, and a lot of things through which crimes are now happening. And there is where these youngsters can help the police to understand how this application works, and then what would have happened before any type of suicide or before any type of crime, like in the phone, or it may be in the computer, or it may be in the laptop to access things. So that is what the basic criteria it's required.
All right. Okay, so maybe last question to you, Nikhil, before we start taking few of the questions from the people online. What is the role of the compliance bodies like CERTIN and maybe National Security Council Secretariat, and then there is organization like NCIIPC, which is specifically governs the area for um, critical infrastructures. So, what is role of these organizations for cyber forensic and digital forensic? How are they helping the people out there?
So see, it is this organizations which are compliance bodies. Also, you mentioned about these organizations. I'll add about SEBI, Reserve Bank of India, or IRDA also at that level. So everyone has described a framework about how digital forensics should be there. And also now DPDP, that digital personal data protection bill, which has come recently, also mentions about all this type of things. So how this cyber forensics should be by design, and not just like as an optional thing. So it is mentioned in a lot of frameworks. It is mentioned in a lot of notifications, circulars, advisories by all these compliance bodies. Now it is a time that all the organization, may it be public, private, government, or any type of organization, to adapt them and not just put these things on paper and implement it. Because when an auditor goes and says, okay, on your paper the BCP or the incident response policy says that your log should be purged for 3 years, as per the policy, as per the compliance, but you are not purging it, like keeping it only not more than 3 months or 4 months also. So this is what their role is very clear, that they have mentioned everything in their policies, and they are upgrading it also. Now it is our time, the organization's time, to implement it as per the guidelines, which will help you to minimize the risk. That is what I will say. Also, programs like Cyber Surakshit Bharat program is recently like launched by the government, which is basically taking an active role in the policy formation and risk mitigation and all this type of things.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I think the good role that these organizations are playing is since they have lots of experience working in that particular area, these guidelines could be a good starting point for organization to adopt for these things, right?
Also, I just wanted to add one more thing. When we talked about learning, so we also give a dedicated portal basically for learning cyber security and digital forensics basics, 3 months free of cost, as we are a Section 8 non-profit company and a community. So you can join on nas.io, nas.io/cyber secured India. So this is what basically where we have uploaded all this type of videos, basic, starting from web application pen testing, mobile application pen testing, digital forensics, cloud fundamentals, cloud forensics, and you can learn this as a 3 months course. So that is just a information. Anyone wants to?
That's a very good initiative. I personally have recommended few of the people to actually take benefit of this internship. Uh, I think the people who want to learn as a hobby, they can also take benefit of this kind of initiative, right? Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So wonderful, Nikhil. Yeah, we have covered more or less everything for this discussion. Now we are at the end of this talk, and there are a bunch of questions that we can take. But few of the people are really interested in the OT security aspect of digital forensics. Maybe we have to put a separate discussion on that as well. That how this cyber forensics can be done on the legacy systems where you have very limited scope of getting data. And sometimes, even for you as well, when you sometimes find the old devices, old phones, it's a make or break situation. And it's like your experience that will play a bigger role there, that how you will take out the data from these devices. And I can correlate the same thing with OT security as well. It's typically is the case there. If when you are doing the forensics there, it generally will find old plants or old infrastructures that you need to get the data from. And one key difference in the digital forensics that you have been doing versus the OT security digital forensics is the communication protocols. though it's a more standardized protocols in your IT side of the world, in OT side of the world, the protocol knowledge is not that highly available. But another good thing is there are a bunch of good number of protocols. They are adopted from the IT side into OT. So you can already have the information about them. Like take example of DNS, take example of HTTP. These are the protocols which are very well known, and you can find good number of information. FTP, Telnet, they are used heavily in the old systems of OT infrastructures. So yeah, the knowledge that you'll gain from your IT word, you can definitely use that into OT word. But yeah, seeing the question, I will definitely put another session on forensics for OT infrastructure as such. Let me see if there is a specific questions on. Okay, people are asking about the incident response part, which we have already covered. Criteria we have already covered. There is a thank note from Sunita that this is really helpful information that you have provided. Okay, so maybe a last question which I can take now. This Shalendra is asking, I am not from OT background and more from traditional IT security background. What is the best way to learn 62443? Where should we start? Yeah, so this is, I think, a question to me, Nikhil. It's a typical OT security question. Yeah, so maybe I'll quickly answer. There are a bunch of good resources that we have put up on LinkedIn, and that could be your good starting point about IC 62443. And then if you're an ISA member, you will get free access to the standard. You can go there and then review the standard. And once you are comfortable with these two things, then you can look for certifications. There are um, official certifications available, and then there is also some professional non-official certification or training are also available online. So maybe you can ping me directly on LinkedIn. I can give you the link about those. Yeah, so we are end of this discussion, Nikhil. Thank you again. Thanks for taking time. This is a really enlightening discussion, and I really learned a lot from your experiences working with the law enforcement agency, specifically helping people on solving these complex cases. And I think as a cybersecurity professional, it is our responsibility to make people aware about these kind of things so that they can use this information in their personal life to save themselves when they are accessing the internet or using the devices online. Yeah.
Yes, yes,
So
absolutely. It is, as you mentioned, it is not only the responsibility of law enforcement, not only the responsibility of the government, it is everyone's responsibility.
yes,
Security is everyone's responsibility. And I will just like tell you that it is not, you should not only be a responsible citizen, but you should be also a responsible netizen. You should use internet, you should use all this type of devices responsibly, not just because now we have moved from 1 GB data per month to unlimited data per day. We use it like haphazardly. We should use it responsibly and take this digital India movement to go towards digital secured India. So that is how basically, and the journey is already started. That is what I can say.
absolutely. Yeah, this is a wonderful remark at the end, and I feel the knowledge gap is the key that the cyber criminals are still thriving. The generation that were not used to use the digital devices, they don't know how to judiciously use these devices and how not to fall prey of the attacks like social engineering, which is a key part of the cyber criminals. They will entice you, they will give you all sort of good promises, and then you will fall prey of their uh, greed that they will put in front of you. Yeah.
Correct.
So having said that, thanks again, Nikhil. This is a wonderful session. I really look forward to discussing more with you on this topic. This is my favorite topic, forensics. So maybe we'll expand this topic more on the OT security side next time. But yeah, there are a good bunch of people who got benefited. Thanks again.
Thank you very much for the wonderful audience. Thank you, Shiv, and your initiative. All the best for your initiative. We are always there for each other, and thank you very much for creating this community specifically on OT security. I will obviously learn a lot from the community. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks.